Name two cell organelles that are double membrane bound. What are the characteristics of these two cell organelles? State their function and draw a label diagrams of both. So here in one question we have three sub-questions. So first part is name two cell organelles that are double membrane bound. So totally we have three cell organelles which has got double membrane. One is chloroplast, the other one is mitochondria, and the third one is nucleus. So here we will be dealing with chloroplast and mitochondria. But nucleus is also an example. What are the characteristics of these two cell organelles? So let us study the characteristics of chloroplast. As we learnt, it is a double membrane bound. That means it has got two boundaries. One is the outer membrane and the inner membrane. We can see here there are two boundaries. The outer boundary is called as outer membrane and the inner one is called as inner membrane. Both are made up of lipid bilayer. So the content of chloroplast is separated from the cytoplasm by two membranes, that is outer membrane and inner membrane. Inside the inner membrane there is a matrix, a fluid filled matrix which is jelly like. This matrix is called stroma. So here the green part, a translucent green part, is nothing but stroma. Inside the stroma we can see there is a presence of enzymes, DNA, ribosomes, protein. All these are present inside the stroma. Now apart from these we can find one more structure which is a coin like structure. So this coin like structure here is thylakoid. So we can see here this one coin like structure is thylakoid. And these structures are arranged one upon the other. So we can find many such structures. So many structures are called granum. So single is thylakoid and many thylakoids which are arranged one above the other is granum. And not just one granum. In the stroma we can find many such granum. So here is one granum, this is one granum, this is another, this is another. Like there are so many granum. So granum is for singular and if there are many we call it as grana. So each granum is interconnected by a thylakoid membrane. So the characteristic features of chloroplast is they have their own DNA. They are surrounded by two membranes. Thylakoid membrane is sac within the inner membrane. That means there are thylakoid, they are membranous sac and they are present inside the inner membrane. Grana are stacks of thylakoid. So in grana we can find many thylakoids and these thylakoid contains chlorophyll and they perform the process called photosynthesis in which the food is synthesized. So this was about chloroplast. Now let us study one more cell organelle, that is mitochondria. So as we learned, mitochondria is again made up of two membrane, the outer membrane. So this is the outer membrane and within that there is a inner membrane. But we can see certain difference. The outer membrane is smooth and continuous, whereas the inner membrane is folded many times and this folding is irregular. So the highly folded inner membrane is called cristae. So here we can find cristae is nothing but the inner membrane which is folding repeatedly. So all these foldings are nothing but to increase the surface area for enzymatic reaction. And inside the inner membrane there is a fluid filled matrix. So this matrix contains DNA. So this is the DNA and this dot like structures called ribosome, proteins, enzymes are present in the matrix. So mitochondria, they are called semi-autonomous organelle because they have their own genetic material DNA. and they can make their own proteins and they can divide whenever they want. So they are called semi-autonomous. The inner membrane, it has got two membranes, the outer and inner membrane, but the inner membrane is folded many times to form cristae. And the main function of mitochondria is it undergoes aerobic respiration, that is cellular respiration, in which the food is broken down, that is glucose, the nutrients is broken down in the presence of oxygen and give rises to ATP, which we consume as a energy. So ATP provides us energy. So this ATP is synthesized by mitochondria, so we call it as a energy currency. They are called powerhouse of the cell.